Let me pull up everything real quick. Let me know if you guys see us live, because I did not see it. I just saw it. Yeah, there we go. We are definitely live. Sweet. Oh no.
There we are.
You see it? Okay. Mine's is just loading nonstop. Oh no, never mind. It is working. I don't see us on Twitch though. Let me have you. You're on Twitch right now?
It's on there.
Okay. For some reason, it's not on there for me. Oh, there we go. I see it now. Sweet. Put up the comment section here for. Oh shoot, not that. All right, sweet. Finally back to normal. So excited. So excited to be a little bit of normal. But what's up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 11. We are finally back after having to deal with Hurricane Ian. Unfortunately, I lost power. But anyways, I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Mike.
What's up, guys?
And returning again is FanXY.
How's it going?
Yeah, so Fan is going to be with us. Pretty much he's going to be our partner for the podcast from here on out. He will be our third wheel. We'll also have, other guests come in every now and then. So he's not officially part of the Random Encounter channel, but he's part of the podcast. He's an official member of our podcast. So, if you can, do me a favor, check out his Twitch streaming and his YouTube channel as well, because he does have some awesome gameplay videos out there. He was just streaming Shadow of the Colossus the other day. Which is a game I still have yet to play, but was watching it and makes me want to really play that game. Kind of sucks I haven't played it yet, but I gotta put my heart into it and try it out. Maybe if it comes out on Steam Deck, maybe I'll play it there. Who knows?
PC port, bro.
Exactly right. Sony's on those PC ports right now, so it's possible now. Back then, I would say not happening, but now for sure it's possible. But yeah, anyways, big shout out to all our subscribers and followers on both YouTube and Twitch. We really appreciate you. Our goal for October is to get 125 subscribers. I think I put at, don't remember, but 125 subscribers. And for followers, we're trying to hit at least 60, double where we're at. We're really trying to get to that Twitch affiliate goal. We're so close. We're sitting at 33, I believe, followers right now. So if you can just go ahead and hit that follow button on Twitch and go ahead and like us and subscribe us on YouTube, we would really appreciate that. Also, don't forget, we do have a Patreon out there. I'll have those links in the description below as well. You could come and visit us there. All that money basically just helps us with getting better equipment. I just bought a better monitor. It's so much easier on my eyes now. I can actually see better. But yeah, all that money comes towards getting us better equipment, getting us the stuff that we're going to be doing reviews on. For example, I'm planning on doing the 8-bit Duke controller review when that comes out, the new one that has the Hall sensor joystick. So I'm really excited to get a hold of that and do a review. I know Mike has a couple reviews on in the back of his mind waiting to do. And now that Hurricane Ian is gone, yeah, now that Hurricane Ian's gone, we're definitely going 100% forward again. I do want to apologize for us not having pretty much anything for these past 2 weeks, but after a hurricane comes, it's really hard to recover. And of course, I was also in the middle of a move, which made it also difficult because I had no internet because they pushed back everything because of the hurricane. So I was living like a caveman.
One thing after the other.
Exactly.
It was one thing after the other, man.
Yeah, it sucked.
On the YouTube chat.
What's up? I got my notes hiding the chat. Let me get it. There we go. I get it on this side so I can see the chat. What's up, John? Appreciate you joining the podcast, man. There we go. It looks like we're back to normal now. Let me find the settings here, see what's going on.
Right?
I mean, we should be good. Sorry about that. Let me check out what's going on here. No. What does it look like? Yeah, I see we're frozen on YouTube also. Son of a, what's going on here?
Right now, all the streams look fine for me, but it might be a little bit delayed.
Yeah. No, you might be ahead right here. Yeah, I'm not sure why it keeps... Yeah, one of my devices is showing that. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure this out for sure for the next time. Mm.
Are you running on Wi-Fi, James?
I have the mesh system plugged in directly to here. But like the other day,
Okay.
like I was streaming perfectly fine with the Resident Evil 2, which is weird. Uh yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna try something out. Give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah, you're good.
If you guys want to hold off the conversation while I figure something out.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We're just chilling. I'm just happy to be back after 2 weeks of not being back. So I'm
Yeah, I've been pretty busy just taking care of the kids.
yeah, yeah, that's a handful. I've just been busy with school and then like some other stuff in my life. I'm like studying to get these like certifications on top of school too, so it's like it's a lot.
Let me see.
Yeah, I've been there.
I'm gonna try something here too. Yeah, it was working fine the other day. I don't know why it's doing this now. Let me see. Devices.
You know how it goes, man. It's always like when you need it, you don't got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, internet's always finicky.
I'm telling you, man. Just you're gonna have to just do the Ethernet thing. Or can you? Is there what do you have, Frontier?
Yeah.
Um,
Power line adapter.
I talked with some people that I know. They said power line adapter is not the way to go because especially the way the townhouse is built, like it can basically like you'll lose signal, especially with the amount of devices plugged in. And since they're townhouses, since the wall is in between, like somebody else could basically grab my Wi-Fi and make it worse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of issues when it came to that. So that's why I decided not to do that.
it depends, like what kind of cabling. There could be interference, but if you
Yeah.
have shielded twisted pair cabling, you
Yeah.
should be fine. It's minimal
So
interference.
I'm gonna try something here. Let me see. I might lose connection. If I lose connection, we'll have to re-put up the stream again.
It, I'm telling you, it's can you say you can't move the router in the room you're in?
Well, I have one, so it's a whole mesh system. Yeah, so I have everything there. Shoot. All right, you guys are there?
Yep.
Yep.
Still
Okay.
here?
Cool. So let me see.
The YouTube chat is buffering.
Yeah, it's probably gonna buffer
Yeah.
for a minute. Oh shoot.
You know, I'm like completely hardwired. I can also host like the stream and everything.
Yeah, let me see if this fixes what I just did. Because what I did, I changed my uplink. Because right now I was linking to my one all the way that's in the other side of the house. So I changed it to the one that's actually right next to me, which actually has better signal. So let me see if that works. We'll try that. If that doesn't work, then we might have to redo that. Let's see. All right. We won't know. I guess we won't know until still a few minutes down the road here. But I guess while we're waiting for this trial and error, I do apologize for the stream being like this. Again, moved into a different house, so have different obstacles to face. I guess while we're waiting to see if this is going to work or not, Mike, what have you been playing?
Oh, what have I been playing? What have I been playing? So I just Steam had a sale on Need for Speed Heat,
Yeah.
the premium edition for $350. I think it's actually still $350 right now. So I kind of been like messing around on that, and it's pretty good so far. You know what I mean? It's a little corny, like all the Need for Speed games. But, you know, that's to be expected. But other than that, I just beat Final Fantasy 1, the Pixel remaster,
Oh, nice.
which I'm gonna have a video up soon about that. I'm gonna do like a little impression video on that. And other than that, that's it. I've been busy, so I haven't really had a chance to play anything. What about
Nice.
y'all?
What about you, Viet?
So as you said earlier, I was playing Shadow of the Colossus. So that game was actually fairly short. I mean, it was only $20 on PlayStation Network, but I did it in like 3 streams. So that was probably about like 8 hours, 9 hours maybe,
Yeah.
10 at most. So it's wasn't too
Is it
bad.
good?
And then
Worth
yeah,
it?
it was fun for what it was. It was mainly just boss fights. That's pretty much all it was.
Yeah.
You went from one Colossus to another Colossus to another Colossus. So it's just straight boss fights.
Yeah. So we'll tell you this before I get to what game I'm playing. I did fix the connection issues because I just noticed on the bottom left on Discord it is showing green now. It was at orange earlier. So it looks like everything's good. Like I don't see anything buffering. But I think that's all it was. The mesh system it was being uplinked was to the other side of the house. So it was cutting through like 50 walls. But now since it's uplinking to the one that's actually closer, it has better signal. I'm getting a better signal now, which is sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
So we should be good now from here on there. But yeah, as far as what I've been playing, oh man, I don't know what I've been playing. No, I've been playing The
I've also been
Messenger.
playing-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, fan.
Oh, I've also been playing Chrono Trigger on my Steam Deck.
Oh, nice.
I actually started that, but I only played like 20 minutes and then I stopped. I got busy.
Game's amazing. I love Chrono Trigger. I have that on my phone, and I played it on my phone and on the iPad. I'm tempted to like re-buy it on the Steam Deck, but I'm like we'll see. You know, because I'm already going through. I was looking through my wish list on the Steam Deck, and it's just games I already own. I just want to play it on my Steam Deck, and it's like, oh man, do I really want to re-buy the same game over and over again? But
First
who
world
knows?
problems, man.
Yeah, exactly,
Don't buy
right?
Persona 5 Royale when it comes out.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that.
But
So I haven't played Royale yet. So I might get that on Steam. Not might. I will get it on Steam Deck, right? And then Golden is on sale right now, and I'm really like tempted. It's like I have it on the Vita, and I'm really tempted to get it on the Steam Deck because it's on sale right now. I probably am, but that's just the issue I have with it. It's like, man, like oh, this game I can play this portable. Let's go. Like all the Resident Evil games, I just bought them through the Humble Bundle because even though I already owned them on PlayStation, I just prefer to play it on the Steam Deck now. But yeah, what I've been playing is The Messenger. So a few podcasts ago, I mentioned The Messenger. It's an indie game, kind of like Ninja Gaiden, but it's an amazing game. If you haven't bought it yet, if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. I don't want to go too deep into what it is because there is some spoiler territory. There's a lot of surprises in it. But I'm finally in the second half of the game, and man, the game's amazing. The music is just, you guys know how I am with video game music. Like music is a big part for me, and the music is amazing. Like I highly recommend it. Have you played The Messenger, fan?
No, it's on my back catalog.
Gotta play it. It's such a good game. It's one of those games that rewards you as you play it. You get better at it, but the difficulty also goes up. So you start doing all these like crazy moves and things like that. So it doesn't get boring. It's not like, oh, I've already mastered it, let's go. The neat thing too, it was designed around speed running too. So you'll find like different shortcuts and different like tricks to kind of speed up your process. So like one of them was this boss, and I was fighting the boss, and I was doing it the normal way. So he has like these hands that come across. You have to climb the hands as it moves around and hit him from the top of the head. But I realized like halfway through the fight, I'm like, wait a minute, I can just hover and glide over his head and just keep hitting him with my sword over and over again, and I'll do all the damage. And sure enough, that was the easiest way to fight him. So I would just climb up top. I'll hit the glide button. I'm hovering over his head, but every time you attack him with your sword, you actually go and you jump up again. It gives you kind of like an extra jump. So I just kept doing that over and over again. That's how I beat him, which was it's a cheat way, but it was a cool way because I found that out in the middle of the battle. But yeah, I've been playing that. I've also been playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot because the DLC is coming out, I believe in January. The DLC for Bardock is coming out, so I wanted to finish playing that. And I had actually first played it on PC through my my kids are yelling downstairs. But like I have actually played it through on PC first, and then I bought it like on PlayStation, and it goes from 60 to 30 frames, and that was kind of messing with my eyes there, so I had to go back to this version. So I'm playing it at 40 hertz on the Steam Deck, and the game's nice. I'm loving the game. I want to hurry up and finish it so I can be ready for the DLC stuff. But I believe that's the only two, and I've been playing Smash Bros. Brawl as well every now and then. I know some people are like, why are you playing Brawl? Like, Brawl's an older game. I know it's an older game, but still, I there's something about Brawl that's very nostalgic. It's in the Wii era, and that era was like, growing up was probably like one of the toughest times, like financially for me. So there's just something about like that era, especially Wii games, that kind of, I don't know, it just hits me hard. And every time I come back to playing it, I just feel like at peace, which is kind of awkward. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I've been playing. From there, there's a bunch of games that I have my eye out on. I've been looking through like all the Steam sales. Through there's a website called gg.deals, I believe it is, where you kind of lets you compare prices and things like that. Been looking through there. Website. Yeah, I've been looking through there to see what I can buy, and it's like, I can't buy. I just moved. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm still here with the house.
There's like a lot of like websites where you can buy cheap Steam keys too.
Yeah.
Like Aniba, G2A, Kingwin,
yeah,
Games Planet, Game Billet, like all those, like they have like really, they usually have like sales when Steam like doesn't have sales.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely been looking through that. Like again, gg.deals kind of compares all that, so it's a good way, because I used to go individually to each site. Now I can just go there and it'll tell you exactly the prices. But yeah, I've been wanting to play Final Fantasy 12 again, and I have it on Switch. I have it on PS4, but my PS5 doesn't have a disc slot, so I just have it like sitting there because it has the steel case. But the PC version is the only one that gives you higher resolutions and higher frame rates. The PlayStation version gives you a higher resolution. The Xbox version gives you 1080p, but you get 60 frames per second, and then the Switch does neither of them, of course. So it's like the only way to get like the combination of the Xbox and the PlayStation version is on PC. So that's kind of like where I'm leaning at, because I did play a little bit on Xbox when it was on Game Pass, and the 60 frame per second was nice, but it's at 1080p. So like on my 4K TV, it was, pixelated. But then when you play the PS4 version, it's at 1440p, and of course checkerboarded to 4K. But you don't get 60 frames; you get 30 frames per second. And then of course the Switch is 720p native on handheld at least, and 30 frames per second. And then even on docked, it's still 30 frames. So kind of weird thing going on with that game. So I've been eyeing out a good sale for it on PC, but I might get it.
Even on Xbox, it doesn't do 60.
Xbox does 60, but it doesn't give you the higher frame rate for some reason. They're weird ports for each console. Yeah.
That's odd.
Huh.
Like
yeah, like I said, like PlayStation does higher resolution, but you can't get the higher frame rate. It's locked at 30. I'm like,
Okay,
why?
So it's like 4K 30 or 1080p 60.
Exactly.
You can't get both.
Exactly, which is weird. And of course, the Xbox, especially when it came out, the One X was more than capable of doing that. I don't get why it's not an option on the Xbox side of things. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like even the Series X, like why would it not be capable? Like that's weird.
Exactly. So that kind of sucks. But the PC version is like the best way to play that game. But yeah. So going into our main topics, one of the things I just wanted to mention real quick was Skull and Bones, the game that nobody cares about, got delayed again till March 9th. And I just want to point that out there because it's funny, like how nobody cares about this game, and this game keeps getting delayed. And it's at that point I feel like it just shouldn't come out. I get it, like I feel for the developers because that is their job. They are going through working hard to at the game, but it's like, come on, like. I think they see these. It was messed up. All they had to do was copy Black Flag, and I think it would be a good game. Just
right. A more piratey Black
exactly.
Flag. It's more about pirating, But
exactly.
They try to make it a live service game.
Yeah,
which is nobody wants that anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's already like established like live service games. Like when WoW came out, everyone tried to copy WoW. Who succeeded?
Yeah,
nobody.
Exactly.
Like, so it's one of those things.
Exactly, and there's a lot of things. Yeah, and the biggest issues with most MMOs is like the end game, right? You'll have like a shorter story, and then once that's done, it's like, where's the end game at? And that's one thing that kind of sucked. Like WoW had a good end game. Final Fantasy 11 also had a really good end game. But like a lot of these other MMOs, it's like, where's the end game at? Oh yeah, you have 3 raids and that's it.
Failed.
Yeah,
so many failed. Like. So Final Fantasy 11 and
14.
14, like they did it good, and WoW. But other than that, there's no other MMOs that like succeeded.
Yeah, there were some that were close. Yeah, there were some like remember Terra, which I think is still running, like that. Yep, people loved that in the beginning because it was actually like button input like for fighting, which was pretty cool. But it didn't go anywhere. You have Black Desert, which was
But it's still around, but it's just not as popular anymore.
exactly.
Like, it had a little streak, but they all have a little streak, and then they just kind of like
They
slow
die
down,
down.
fade away.
Yeah. New World, a more recent one, right? New World.
New World, yeah. 'Cause even my Destiny clan, they all switched from Destiny to New World for like a month,
And then they came back.
And they're like, oh, the game's back. Like,
Yeah, it's very tough in that market, and I mean, it sucks. Like I get like live service games, I can see the money being there, and also like you're not having to work as hard because the game's already established, right? So you're just doing updates every now and then.
you're just making money.
Exactly.
It's being greedy at the end of the day.
Exactly, but I mean, I think time and time again, these single player experiences are what's going to be most important, in my opinion, because you get single player games that come out, sell millions of copies, and
What's up, David?
yeah, nobody has any issues. Hey, David, what's up? Thanks for joining the podcast. But yeah, like nobody has issues with single player games, and some multiplayer games are just more basic, outside of battle royales. They also have been getting popularity. But when you start trying to squeeze money out of people, that's when people will fight back and be like, no, man, like we don't want this. We already paid $60. Why do we got to pay another,
Yep.
$30 to
make
unlock stuff?
All the live service games that were good were free to play. Like
Yep.
Destiny is free to play. Obviously, you have to
Yeah.
buy some expansions and everything, but
Yeah.
like the base game's free to play. Fortnite's free to play.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is now
you
free to
know,
play.
so-
Yeah.
So if it's free to play, I don't care about spending $20 for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but if I have to spend $60 and then I got to spend another $30 or $20
Yeah.
to buy stuff, that's messed up, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because we say that, but then Final Fantasy 14, which is on the opposite end, that is, when the new expansion pack comes out, it's like $40 to $60, and then you also have to pay this the monthly subscription, but it still has
But you get a lot of
millions of
content
players.
with that.
That is true. There's a
That-
ton of
that's the
content in
thing.
that.
So with stuff like with that, you get like half the game, then you have to buy the other half of Final Fantasy. I would rather pay $40 every year
Yeah.
and get a bunch of new content, new raids, new like classes, new stuff like that.
Yeah.
Than have to buy half a game and then buy just dumb skins to actually look decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause all those games come with like skins and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. That's true. You could still purchase. It's been a while since I played, but I know like depending on how many months you subscribed or years or something like that, they'll give you like free skins. Like you'll get like Cloud's outfit, so you can glamour your character, which is basically just a what do you call it?
Like a spell?
No, like glamour is like I'm trying to think what it is. Like you can change your outfit, but it doesn't affect your stats. Does that make sense? Like,
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Destiny has the same thing.
Yeah.
where you change the look, but the stats of a different armor apply to it still. But it's
exactly.
not
Exactly. Like, physically, your looks change, but like the armor you actually have that's being used, that doesn't change.
All MMOs have that because WoW has that. Destiny
Yeah.
has that. Like they all have. I don't know what each one's name.
Yeah, they all have a different name. Yeah, but and like stuff like that, like, you can get for free, which is nice. But yeah, I don't even know how we got into this topic. Oh, because the Skulls and Bones, right? That nobody cares about. Yeah, it's like, oh man.
The only thing I know is like it's not going to be good. It's got delayed. So if you like one or two delays, like is to make a game better. When it gets delayed for years, like that game's not gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's been delayed for centuries. Like, oh man.
Years and
Yeah,
years. It
not
was
century,
supposed
but
to
years.
come out
Yeah.
in 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just
Like,
not
that was, like,
expecting
the
to even see
initial-
it, so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel it, and if they release it. Unfortunately, like, I mean, I feel for the
It's just-
developers.
it's gone through too many phases, man.
Yeah.
First it was supposed to be a Black Flag clone.
Mhm.
Then they're like, oh, it's only ship battles, and then they went back to like Black Flag clone but live server. You know? what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
but you
so
still
it's-
can't, like, you can only walk around with your character, but you can't fight with your character. It's like, no, like, I don't want it. Like, I don't know. Oh well, but yeah, that got delayed to March 9th, 2023. I feel for them because in March, I feel like there's a lot of games. I don't have that list. I should have had that list there, but there's a bunch of games going to be coming out in that first half of the year. So yeah, kind of sucks for them, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Zelda comes out like what
In May, yeah,
so it's
Yeah.
like they're gonna lose a lot of players because it's gonna be like a month to get settled.
exactly. Like, I feel like a lot of people are going to work around the Zelda schedule Because I think when Breath of the Wild first came out, people didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. And then, I mean, just look at Horizon.
Huge,
like,
hundreds of hours. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Horizon was a week before that, and everybody forgot about it. Like, Horizon, I remember when Horizon came out, everybody said, oh, this is an amazing game. This is the game to watch. This is the game you're going to play. This game is going to be game of the year. And then Breath of the Wild comes out, and nobody ever mentioned Horizon ever again. You know, like, not till later on.
It's still a great game.
It is, yeah.
The timing was poor. They should have probably waited like a month at least before they dropped it.
Well, and I think, like, I've mentioned this before on the podcast, like, what affects me with a lot of open world games now because of Breath of the Wild is the traversal. Like, it's literally easy to do anything. You can glide, you can climb anywhere you want. There's so many crazy things you can do, and you don't get that in a lot of open world games. Even Forbidden West, right? Like, you still have to look at the walls, look at specific points to climb and things like that. Where Breath of the Wild, you don't get that. Even Assassin's Creed Origins, I don't know if you guys remember that, but Origins updated so that you can kind of climb anything. Where when it first came out, that wasn't the way. They changed a lot of the game after Breath of the Wild to kind of accommodate, because Breath of the Wild had so much things that were cool. You know, there's a lot of things that were there. You know, some of it might not have been new, but they definitely improved it, and people liked it, right? When you compare it to games like Skyrim, Witcher, and so forth. But yeah, like, you know, oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. If it comes out, it's gonna get delayed 3 more times.
But some other news that people don't care about: Stadia is shutting down. You know, and to me, I'm kind of sad about Stadia shutting down, and here's why.
David says he's playing Origins. Right
it's oh yeah, he is playing Origins. That's right. He's been telling us that on that. Yeah, Origins, amazing game. I tell you, best Assassin's Creed to come out in the current.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. It still has a good story, good gameplay. Yeah, amazing. But yeah, Stadia shutting down, which I believe you were able to play Assassin's Creed Origin on there. And I'm kind of sad, but kind of expected. And here's why. There's a couple reasons why. Part of it is because, oh, what happened? Your camera, like,
I don't know, like it froze again.
Yeah.
I don't know why it keeps on freezing. I gotta figure it out.
I think it's Discord, because like when that happened to you, like my ping dropped like a lot.
Really?
And then went back up. Yeah, like literally when that happened to you, which was interesting. But yeah, so Stadia, like I tried it out. It works. It's cool. Like the latency is pretty dope. I honestly really like their controller. I have it right here. This was a gift from Ken Masters, you know, who we've talked about the podcast, who's gift us with a couple things.
My boy Ken.
Yeah. But like this is it's amazing controller. Like it feels great. Like I'm a controller nerd, right? You know, so I have, you know, this. I have of course the Xbox, and then I have the best controller ever made, which is the 8-bit Do controller. And I really like the Stadia controller. So like they did put some effort in the beginning for it, and it don't get, oh, there you go. See, I wanted that one. Oh man, like I really wanted that one, and it sucks they didn't have that available, because I heard I think Nintendo was gonna sue them for doing that. So instead, I got the Game Boy one. Oh, that one's amazing too.
I can play my Sega games.
Yeah, you have to get an 8-bit Do controller, Mike.
Oh,
yeah,
that's not my only one. I got. This is my wired one. It's the one that the
one
new
that's for
8-bit Do one's gonna come out. This can be based on this design, but with the Hall sense.
Yeah. Then that one I'm trying to get big time, because it's gonna have the Hall sensors. Yeah. It says it doesn't work for iOS, but I'm 100% sure. You know what? Where's my other 8-bit Do controller? You're here sporting that out. Look at that. See, like, hold on. Let me slide over here and get my other controller. This is not fair. I can't have him showing me off. I'll be right back.
I had to get this one so I can play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like Shredder's Revenge game.
Oh,
when it's a beat 'em up, I gotta go arcade quite.
Yeah, I don't feel like grabbing all my controllers right now. So that's all.
So,
I mean, all of them are within arm's reach.
This is my.
I gotta like walk over there.
Yeah. So this is my portable one. This actually stays in my bag all the time. So like if I ever someone wants to play like a 2-player game with me on my Steam Deck, then they could use this, and then of course use the Steam Deck. But I made sure to make a match too, because I was thinking of getting like the one that looks almost PlayStation look, but I was like, nah, I had to have them both match, so they're the same color and everything. So, but yeah, anyways, going back to Stadia. Again, like a lot of people don't care about that, but still, Stadia is great. Like the hardware it had was great. The streaming technology I think was really solid. It's definitely, in my opinion, better than xCloud and GeForce Now. But the issue I had was their, what's the right word I'm looking for?
Their model on
Yes.
how you play your game.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest issue, right? Like I didn't want to buy a game on Stadia because I was afraid of this happening, and luckily they're refunding all customers, right? Which is pretty cool.
Because I have some games that I did buy on Stadia.
Yeah. Like they're refunding customers, which is amazing. That's, big props to Google on that part. Like they could have not have done that, right? But I think they did that out of the courtesy
They
of.
had to do it. There would have been a class action lawsuit.
That's true. There could have been.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and I mean,
they're not
People
doing
bought
it out of the
games.
kindness of their hearts. They're doing
Like,
it to avoid
Yeah.
bad PR. You
Yeah,
know what I
'cause-
mean?
yeah.
People buy the games, they own it, but you're closing the servers for them to access the game that they
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Like every time it's happened, there's always been terrible PR.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at
And
Sega.
Yeah.
The
Like with
Dreamcast.
Google too, man. Like I knew this was gonna happen when it first came out because they kill
It's
everything.
just-
That they
I know where you were getting at. Yeah. And
There's a
It's
website
just-
called Killed by Google.
Yep.
And it'll
Yeah.
literally like show you everything that they had that they killed, dude.
yeah,
It's crazy.
I
there's
think
a.
it's just too early.
You think so? Yeah. Like
I think
I don't think it's too
they'll come out with it
early.
again. I think they'll come out with it again.
I don't
just be
think
something
so.
Completely different.
No, it's too
Not-
expensive.
No,
They
I think
already-
it'll. I think they'll do it again.
because now with xCloud gaining a lot of traction,
Yeah.
now Google can't compete with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Especially since Microsoft has a gaming division where Google does not. So,
Yeah.
especially with Game Pass. Honestly, Game Pass by itself will make Google not compete with that.
Well,
Which is
here.
probably why they're shutting it down. in
Well,
the
here
first place.
here's the thing with that. See, and I think what's benefiting Microsoft with the xCloud and like Game Pass and everything is actually Game Pass itself, right? So Game Pass, if you're already a member, you're already subscribed to it, you can stream those games. Google really didn't have anything. They had their like Stadia Pro subscription, but you get a few free games, kind of like PlayStation Plus. You'll get a few free games, and that's really it. Game Pass, you really don't have to worry about that, right? You can just basically stream any game, and they are adding soon where your purchase games will also be streamable. A lot of people already seen that Elden Ring appeared on there in certain countries, which is crazy. So if you own like Elden Ring on Xbox or on the Microsoft Store, you can stream it directly on your phone or tablet or whatever device you want. Where Google didn't really have that, and I think that's what's hurting them. Amazon Luma or Luna, I think it is. Yeah, Luna. Amazon Luna has a similar like subscription model where if you're a Prime member, you get certain games free and they swap out every now and then. But you can also subscribe to like a retro channel where you can play like the Castlevania collection, Street Fighter collection, like older Sonic games and things like that. And then you have a more Luna Plus, I think it's called, where you can basically stream like Devil May Cry 5 and all these other high-end games, Lost Judgment, all these other games out there. And I think subscription models for streaming works. Buying these games without like any
I'm
physical.
gonna interrupt you.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works because, like with it's hard to do it now because you can do that, right? You can
Yeah.
play for Luna and just stream the game, or you can get Game Pass, and then once they implement like streaming whatever game you own,
Yeah.
then it's kind of pointless to have a Luna account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you can have the Game Pass to where you can play
Correct.
physical games on
Yeah.
your PC or Xbox, but you could also stream.
But-
So I think coming to like a dead end
Yeah.
for these other companies, unless they do
See-
something like Game Pass.
Yeah, and to that extent, I get what you're getting at that, but I also semi disagree because there's quite a few people, especially the people who are using Stadia like as their main device. They don't have an Xbox, right? They don't have a gaming PC, and they don't want to subscribe to
Xbox coming
Game
to-
Pass. So it's
They're
like
making their own thing, like
their own
like-
streaming box. Yeah, and if they do that, that's gonna help out a lot. But like that's the thing. Like, you're right. It's gonna be tough, and I feel like with PlayStation also,
There
like
needs to be competition.
Yeah.
So I want them to like do something because without competition, you have a monopoly, and then they can do whatever the
Yeah.
hell they want. you know, like which isn't okay,
Yeah.
like in any kind of field. Like Intel just dropped a new graphics, their own like graphics
Yeah,
card
the RX 770.
division.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like happy. This one sucks, but I hope it gets better. So
Yeah.
Nvidia and AMD have like some competition. Right now, Xbox is the only people with this kind of thing, so I want like Google or Amazon or someone to like do it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I think they'll probably come back to it.
Yeah.
I think it was just too early. I don't think they were ready for it, to be honest. Like, I'm sure it'll come back.
Because XCloud
Yeah.
was around, was out around the same time.
Yeah, it came out a little bit after. It was in
Yeah.
beta, and then of course the official launch came out. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like for me, since I already had a Game Pass, I use XCloud a lot more than Stadia. And of course, like I said, the only game I purchased was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and that's because Stadia gave me like a $10 credit, and it was able to work there, so I didn't pay anything technically for that.
Right.
But like that was the only game that I really purchased on there. But like I played like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night on there, a couple of other games, and it works good. You know, I really did enjoy it for the little bit that I played with it. But like you're saying, like Game Pass to me was more beneficial because it's like I already have an Xbox and I have a PC. I can just play whatever's on Game Pass and continue. That's how I beat Yakuza 0 and on there. I actually would play on my Xbox, and then when I was not around my Xbox, I'll just stream it through my phone, and it worked perfectly fine. You know, so it's things like that kind of sucks. I know PlayStation is working on getting their streaming stuff to work on mobile now, which is going to be interesting because I did play the PS3 games to stream them, and to me at least, it worked perfectly fine. I was able to play Sonic Adventure 2 no problem. Played Resident Evil 4 no problem. So in my opinion, it works fine. I don't know, like I feel bad for Stadia to an extent, but like I agree with Mike. I did see this coming because anything Google does, I take with a grain of salt. Like they put in some new cool thing, like new software. I'm like, yeah, let's see how long that's gonna be around. Because even stuff that's successful, they get rid of it. Like Google Duos, you know, was very successful. They made that as the like their video chat. Yeah, it's now Google Meet. So they got rid of Duos and they integrated with Google Meet. And it's like,
See,
why?
That confuses customers.
Exactly.
Like, when you do something like you can't just keep like switching it, like because people won't what's it called? It won't catch on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like Apple had FaceTime for forever. You know what I mean? Like people know like Zoom and like Discord. You know what I mean? They're not gonna create something else like for it. It's crazy, dude.
And it's a shame that happens. But the one issue I do have with this is basically you could only use this as a wire controller on PC, Android, and I think that's it. I don't know. I haven't tried it on iPad. I should try it on there, but like PC and Android, that's it. Like other than that, it's dead. Once Stadia is gone, you can't really use it anymore.
So I just read that there's a lot of like petition going on to be able to use it because if not, it creates a lot of
e-waste. Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like that's why I tell people, like, don't upgrade when the new shiny thing comes out. Upgrade when you need to, like when it comes to, like a PC or like controller or something like that, because like e-waste is so bad for the environment. You know, and people don't realize it because like that there's how many like controllers like that out there that just become worthless overnight.
Exactly.
What are people gonna do? They're not gonna recycle it. They're just gonna throw it away.
Exactly.
You know, like, trash, so.
Well, like this controller, right? Like I will be buying a new one to replace it, but that's because this is already having issues. It keeps disconnecting my RB. Like I was using this on the Resident Evil stream, and it just kept disconnecting. So I had to use my 8-bit do again.
Well,
so you know,
if you need to upgrade. But if you don't, that's what I'm saying. Like people just like buying the new shiny thing and getting rid of their old stuff, you know, like, and it's like that's not how it should be.
Yeah. So
don't make these billion-dollar companies more billions. You know what I mean? Like just because they market it right.
Exactly. I do hope that they do. Like, because it has Bluetooth connectivity, but the Bluetooth is really only for like the pairing process, and that's it. Like other than that, it does nothing. So they do need to do like a firmware update that allows you to unlock the Bluetooth to be able to go ahead and use this on any device.
If they don't do it officially, I 110% guarantee there's gonna be a firmware that someone makes to be able to do that.
No, I hope so. I mean, you would think that as of right now, somebody would have done it already. But I mean, I guess we'll wait and see.
It's not that big of a platform, but if someone was using it, it's kind of tech savvy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, there was
wants to keep using it, so.
Yeah, there were some die-hard Stadia like customers out there, and basically like those Stadia customers, they literally, I mean, like I'm not sure if you read the article. There's that guy who had like, what was it, like 600 hours in Red Dead Redemption 2, and now he can't
Oh
take
yeah,
his,
yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, like
Well,
there's,
he has a petition going to let him transfer the data or something like
yeah,
that. I
exactly,
hope he gets it, man. I hope he gets it because that's
yeah.
an accomplishment, dude. Who plays Red Dead Redemption for 600 hours,
I
dude?
mean, not me, but some people did. There's another guy I know with Destiny, and Destiny, I believe, doesn't have cross progression, or at least with Stadia, it doesn't. Um,
Yeah, it does. It
does
should.
it?
It should.
Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
read somewhere
Because
that
I started Destiny 2 on Stadia, and then I continued on my PS5.
so it did let you. Oh, so that article
Yeah.
lied to me. Like,
It's cross-platform because you can literally like you just have to buy it on everything.
yeah,
But if you
Yeah.
want to switch from PlayStation to Xbox to PC, you have to buy it on every like console to play it.
Yeah.
But you can totally do it.
yeah. And, okay, so I read somewhere. I thought somebody was complaining about that, but maybe I got that confused with Red Dead Redemption. Because
Yeah.
of course I knew it was cross-platform, but I thought they said it wasn't cross-progression. But maybe it was something else. So never mind. So I guess that works. But yeah,
Anyway,
one cool
Stadia's going out
thing.
of business. Like,
Yeah, and I guess the cool thing is too, like if you do have like save files on Stadia, they are allowing you to export that save file, and then you can add it like to like your Steam folder, and it'll read that save file, and then you can continue the game that way, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
There's a tool on there. I forgot what it was called, but there's a tool that it's directly through Google that allows you to export all that save data. So I guess that's cool for the few people that had Stadia. They are worried about losing their progress. But
Right.
I don't think that's the only issue around Stadia, right? And I think cloud gaming also has to be worried about this, and that's because the Steam Deck is very popular. And I think the Steam Deck is actually going to hurt cloud gaming more than people realize it. Because
maybe.
you don't think
Because a
so?
lot of so like not considering just US, the Steam Deck isn't in every region yet.
Yeah,
And
that's
once
true.
it goes to every region, it's gonna be so overpriced that a lot of people won't be able to afford it.
Yeah,
They can afford, you know what I mean, like a $50 dongle or whatever.
yeah,
But like to buy a $400 machine, a lot of people do the Stadia because they can't afford consoles.
Yeah.
If they can't afford consoles, they won't be able to afford the Steam Deck. You know what I mean?
yeah. I semi agree with that.
especially in China. And I
Yeah.
know there's some
Yeah.
tech reviewers in China that it was just way too expensive for them to ship a Steam Deck to them.
Yeah,
it's not
well, it's
out
not out
in
in China.
China.
Yeah, I don't think it's out in
No, that's
China.
what I
Yeah,
mean. Like someone like they have to order it, have it shipped to someone that they know of in the U.S.,
yeah.
and then they had to send it to them in China, and it was just like,
Well, so
and then it gets stopped in customs, and then that's just
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. Because
So-
there's one guy that I watched, and he was like, it was just $1,000 for me to get a Steam Deck. That's the
Yeah, but that's different, right? Because it's not
Insane.
natively there. But like, I don't think
Yeah.
xCloud is in China and neither, right? But like, if you look at Japan, right? Like, Steam Deck just believe released in Japan, in South Korea, and I think a couple of other countries. And in Tokyo Game Show, Valve had a booth for the Steam Deck, and they were talking about how so many people were going and looking at that because they're like, wow, I can play my PlayStation games on this. This is my PC. I can do everything on this. And especially in Japan, portable gaming is a lot more popular.
Well, I'm talking about poor countries.
Yeah.
So like more restrictive
Yeah.
countries, not even just poor. So I'm talking about like the Middle East.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because I'm on Reddit a lot,
Yeah.
so a lot of comments I read on some of these like subreddits is like people from like kind of like poorer countries
Yeah.
and everything that were mad that the Stadia was shutting down. Because it was the only kind of gaming equipment they could afford.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So if you're talking about like the Middle East, places in Africa, places in Europe, you know what I mean, even places in like Asia, not
Yeah.
Japan. Japan's one of the richest
Yeah.
countries in the world. If you're talking about, for example, like Somalia or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in Africa, or if
Yeah.
you're going to like the Middle East and you're going to like Iran and stuff, it's difficult there to
See,
get something like a Steam.
But so here's my thing with that though. You would think those same countries that maybe the Steam Deck will be very expensive over there. Their internet infrastructure, would it also be good enough to handle streaming though? Like that's where I
better than
feel
here.
that
That's the funny thing. A a lot of those places they have like actually better internet than the U.S.
So it's
Like,
funny. I thought that, but I was watching Nintendo podcast, and I know you watched that too, fan.
yeah,
And Wood beat 'em ups. He was talking about how in Australia, like the internet is not as fast as over here, which is interesting. And they're they're not considered a third world country, right? They're a first world
see,
country.
it's crazy because
Yeah.
I played Destiny with some people who live in Australia, and they say it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, and that's from firsthand, like me talking to like my people on my Destiny
Yeah.
team. They're like it's expensive,
Yeah.
but it's like it works.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I don't mean like it doesn't work, right? Like it works enough, but like, that's something like speed wise. Like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm used to like 500 or 500, and I think that's great speeds. But like maybe cloud gaming does work on lower end speeds, because I know when I used to have only like my max speeds was like 10 megabytes per second. There was no way I could stream PlayStation Now at the time, you know.
I think it's
So
I think it's like with streaming over the internet, it's
yeah,
also like a latency thing. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like it's not just like a up and down. It's like kind of like if you have low latency, you'll be alright.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
and, and that's why I feel like the Steam Deck would be, it's kind of like the console, right? Because, or not console, but like
right.
the device, especially because Steam Deck can also do cloud gaming, right? But you can also get these games natively on there. So if you want to play, Elden Ring, right? You don't have to
It's
stream
definitely
it.
the
You can
better
do that.
option.
Yeah.
But it's also when it goes to like when it gets released to these different countries, it's also would be more expensive even for us if you do like a currency transfer.
Yeah.
So like you know what I mean, like the $400 version for us over in a different country could be $700 or
Yeah.
$800. You know what I mean, like because it's also regionally priced.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah, I know that.
it just depends because like cloud gaming has its purpose as like how the Steam Deck does in like more like first world countries, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
Steam Deck for sure will kill cloud gaming, but in like poor countries, like I think cloud gaming is like gonna be where it's at, like with the X Cloud and like Luna and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Interesting. I hear your take on that, and I say, what about you, fam? What do you think?
I mean, I'm sad that it's going. But again, like I was saying before, I'm sure it'll come back in some form or another. Like, because like Google, like they've come out with a bunch of different messaging apps and stuff like that always tend to come back in some form or another. So I'm sure something will come back in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll adopt a similar like operating model like Luna, where
Yeah.
you pay a monthly subscription and it just cycles out which games you get to play for free.
Do you think?
And then,
Yeah. Go ahead.
well, I mean, that's what I'm thinking might happen,
Yeah.
which I'm okay with if that happens, because there might be a game in there that I may only want to play for a little bit, but I don't want to spend $50 to own it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll just pay that $10 at one time to try it out for a while.
So, I was gonna mention. Do you think Valve will come out with a cloud gaming service?
I mean,
I don't know if
if
they'll
not
come out with
Google,
cloud gaming.
I
I
mean,
think they
but
might just let all the other people's cloud gaming be accessible on it.
yeah,
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like right now, there's not a native way to play like
I mean, in that way they don't have to worry about the infrastructure of like supporting
yeah.
it themselves.
Yeah.
They can just make sure their equipment works on it.
They'll probably go the Amazon route. You know what I mean? Just kind of like either buy companies that already have it or let
Yeah.
companies use it on their service.
See,
So
so I was thinking, like, what if, let's say there's people who don't want a Steam Deck, right? And there's still a lot of people out there who won't buy a Steam Deck. But let's say
I don't
they
recommend the Steam Deck
they
for anyone anyway.
want,
Like I only recommend the Steam Deck for people who are at least a little bit technologically savvy.
yeah,
If you have zero technological savviness, the Steam Deck can be kind of like a pain to work with. So
Mm. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it depending on what you want to do. Like, if you want to add like Xbox Game Pass, yeah, you have to go into the desktop mode. There's a bunch of other stuff you got to
Well,
do. But some
even
others,
emulators. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, emulators is
it's
the
easy
toughest
to
part. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, but it's like when you have someone who reads online that it's an emulation machine, it's
yeah,
great, blah blah blah, and then they get it and they're like, what do I do? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
No,
kind of deal.
yeah, I agree with that point. Yeah, but like I think for basic like your Steam games, right, your Steam library, I think it can get the job done. But like what I was getting at is, you know, it would be cool. Even though I have a Steam Deck, it would be cool. Let's say maybe I don't have my Steam Deck, or maybe I'm a person who doesn't want the Steam Deck, but I'm able to stream my same game or my same save data that I have on my PC to my phone. I feel like that would work well, right?
I
Huh?
already tried that. I already tried that.
Did they?
With Steam Link. Steam
Well,
Link.
yeah, that's different
Yeah.
though. That's from Steam Link. It's just directly from your PC though. But I'm talking about through the cloud, right? Because like
Right.
the Steam Link, you know, and it's still, you know, you can still get it on your phone and things like that. But it's dependent on your network versus the cloud. Is kind of like anybody can do that, right? Because there's a lot of people they don't realize how important like your network is. You know, they go with like the cheapest router and expect to have like the best speeds, where you know that's not the case. Like I always tell people, especially for Wi-Fi, it's best way to go is with a mesh system because that's the only way you're really gonna get, in my opinion, you know, acceptable Wi-Fi throughout the house. But
Yep.
and even then, like what the issues I was having in the beginning, it could be hit and miss. You know, you might get those issues every now and then, which I blame the floor because the floor is a different material, and I think that's what's messing up my Wi-Fi. But anyways, yeah. So
It can play a big impact on that kind of stuff.
yeah, it can,
Like,
and that's why I think it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like with the Steam Deck, I feel like it's still the like I think that's just the best. In my opinion, it's the best portable right now for sure. Like as much as I love my Switch,
it's the best console to me.
yeah,
So if someone's like looking to buy a PC or like a console or something, and they don't know what to get, I would recommend a Steam Deck over anything because
Yeah.
it kind of like
Especially if they're not
works as
tied
well.
to any one specific IP.
yeah,
Right. So it's one of those things like it's the best all around like console slash PC because
Yeah.
I even seen like today there's a YouTuber I watched called ETA Prime. I
yeah.
don't know
I
if you've
watch
heard of
GTA
him.
Prime all the time. Yeah,
But yeah, he just dual booted a Windows 11 on a Steam Deck, and he says it pretty much works awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like if you need a PC and a gaming console, boom, right there, Steam Deck.
yeah.
But like I said, you have to be a little bit tech savvy to get that working.
Yeah.
So it's
For
those
yeah,
things.
for some of those features, yeah. So fan, I know you've been. I think out of everybody who's got the Steam Deck, because I think me and Mike got it around the same time. You just got yours
Yeah.
a month ago or so. What do you think of it so far?
I mean, I've used it quite a bit. I bought a lot of games on the Steam Deck.
My
Um,
man,
I've done.
backlog right there.
Yeah, I got a backlog. But like, if I have like time to kill, like 30 minutes to an hour, so like this whole week I've been playing, stay-at-home dad while my wife's back home in Kansas visiting family. So I've been taking my son to school and dropping off and watch my daughter and stuff like. So whenever I go pick up my son from school, I have to get in line because it takes forever to get in
Yeah.
line to do pickup. So I get there like an hour before I have to pick him up. I take my Steam Deck with me. I play Chrono Trigger for like 50 minutes, and I have it connected. And like, sometimes it's not connected to Wi-Fi, right? But when I get home, it connects to Wi-Fi, and then it uploads my save to their cloud, and then I can play it on my PC.
Yeah,
So I love
Yeah,
the Steam Deck. In all honesty, like it's
It's
great.
awesome. They just
Yeah.
updated playing offline better too, because before
Yeah.
it was kind of like buggy.
yeah,
Yeah, that was one thing I did notice, that it was lagging a little bit, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with that. I thought it might have been some of the settings that I had going on. But yeah, I love it so far. And I just bought Elden Ring, so I'll be interested to see how well that plays on the Steam. I know other people have already like
Plays very
done it,
well.
so
Plays very
I'd
well.
still like to see how it plays.
It's a great game too. Like it's super good. 10 out of 10.
yeah. Like I love the Steam Deck. Like I said, it's my favorite portable right now for sure. Like the next time I'll probably not be using my Steam Deck is probably when Pokemon comes out. And Breath of the Wild, of course. Like any Nintendo exclusive. Whenever a Nintendo exclusive comes out, I probably won't use my Steam Deck. But I use it almost every day because it's comfortable to use. It's not super heavy. It is heavier than the Switch, but not like too heavy. Battery life, if you play with settings, you can get a decent battery life. Like every game I've played outside of Final Fantasy VII Remake has given me 3+ hours. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think gives me
AAA games kind of like give the battery a hard time, but everything else like is
Yeah.
like it's pretty good because I played Final Fantasy 1 on it, which I know it's not like
yeah, and that's
graphically,
like 6
heavy.
hours or something. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like I literally got like 4 hours of playtime, 4 or 5 hours of playtime,
Yeah.
no problem. Like
Yeah, that's like playing Final Fantasy 6. Like the counter, you look at it, it says like 5 hours and like 40 minutes or something from a full charge. Yeah, so the battery's actually not that bad. It's only in the super intensive games, like again, Final Fantasy 7 Remake drains the battery a lot, but you still get 2 to 3 hours, so you're still very close there. And it depends on how you play, right? I always lower my refresh rate to 40 hertz, so I don't go to 60, and that helps out with battery life a lot. And then of course I always play like at 720p is good. Like I'd never use FSR. I was gonna use it on Resident Evil, but like it makes everything look muddy. I was like, nah, I can't do it with that. But I know FSR will also help you out with battery life depending on the game as well.
I think the next variation of Steam Deck is going to be great because
yeah,
this one's so good. I think the next version is going to be like
a lot better.
grade and a handheld. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, and hopefully it'll make Nintendo now step up their game, right?
They need new hardware, man. They desperately need new hardware. It's getting to the point where it's, I don't know why they haven't even been talking about it, because I feel like it's still like 2-3 years out before they even announce like new hardware.
Well, there's been a lot of leaks with them, where
There's a lot of leaks
Nvidia,
last year, nothing happened.
yeah, I mean, and it doesn't mean there's nothing happening behind the scenes, right? Like they just might not be ready. But I think there's been a couple stuff through Nvidia that's been leaking because Nvidia apparently is working on the next chip for them. So I mean, I guess we'll see. Maybe next year, who knows? Maybe when Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild too. Shoot, what is it called now? I forgot the name of the game.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, then then maybe it might come out and be a launch game. Who knows? I guess we'll see. But yeah, the other thing that I was going to mention is the Steam Dock. Well, aside from that, like Steam Deck is now readily available. You don't have to pre-order it. You can just buy it, and it ships within like 2 weeks, it says. But the Steam Dock also just came out, which I was going to get the JSOC's Steam Dock, but I might go with just Valve's dock instead.
I got the JSOC.
Yeah, and I know everybody says it works great.
Half the price, and it works great.
Exactly.
Like, unless you need a DisplayPort cable, like there's honestly no reason to get the Steam Dock.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just more that it's Valve branded, right? And it's kind of like, I just want to get that, right? But like, I wasn't gonna get a dock originally, and then like the more I think about it,
it's so handy.
Yeah, it's like the more I think about it, like especially in my room, I feel like that's where I'll have the most use to it, where I can just sit it on there and then play my games with a Bluetooth controller.
It works with any dock. So like the Steam Dock is kind of like they're using the name to pretty much up the price. You know what I mean?
Of course,
the only other functionality that it has over a JSOC is it has a DisplayPort, I believe. Like I think that's like the only
I think it does.
that's, like,
yeah.
different. So, but like
I think I have the JSOC ones too.
What's up?
I think that's the one I have. It's the JSOC one.
That's the one for sure I have, and it works great.
Yeah.
Like this is it right here. Has 2 USB, HDMI, and a USB-C.
Yeah, so, theirs has 3 USBs.
Oh, I got the revised one.
There's a JSOC with 3. I just didn't
yeah.
3.
Yeah, I got.
And if you go to JSOC's website too, they do like 10 or 15% off first purchase. So
yeah, does the JSOC have Ethernet? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a gigabit Ethernet on the side.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see, because we'll see which one to get. But that also just came out. They kind of shadow dropped that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Steam Dock. The other difference is you can charge. It comes with a charger, so you can charge.
That is true, and I think that's probably what the majority of that price is there. I would do that. I would like an extra charger, just so I can have that. So it kind of, to me, it makes sense. Even though you can use any charger, I just to play it safe, just play use the charger that they recommend.
I'm a gambling man, so I just I'm gonna just like to try it out to see how much it messes up my system.
Oh man, but yeah, moving on to our next topic, Super Mario movie. So the trailer released, and
I think it looks great.
Yeah,
I think it looks good. Everyone's hating on Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I think everyone just needs to chill and actually watch it. But,
yeah,
honestly,
to me, so the opening was definitely hilarious. Where Bowser comes out, and then the penguins are there, and they start throwing the snowballs. Yeah. And like that whole part just had me laughing. But like, no, I agree. It looks great. Yeah, the only issue I have is the Chris Pratt line is like, what does he say? Mushroom Kingdom, here we
Here we
come. I
come.
was like,
Did I hear we go?
yeah, I'm like this is like no, like it's just the way he says it. He says it almost like if he doesn't care type of deal. But I mean, hopefully, maybe it's one of those
I
things
think
like it's
he
a
didn't have a lot of lines, so I don't think everyone could get like the whole grasp of like how he sounds. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because he had like one line, and it's hard to tell with one line if
yeah,
it's gonna be a good fit or a bad
that's
fit.
true. Well, he did have. Didn't he say something? Oh, he said like, "Where are we?" or "Where am I?" or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. He pretty much has one line. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
So, because everybody else sounded great, like Toad. You know, like Toad sounds like
yeah,
Toad
and
would.
that's Keegan Michael Key from
Yeah.
Key and Peele.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and Jack Bowser is Jack Black. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so they all sound good.
Yeah, even
Yeah, but
what's it?
those are both actors that have done voice work before.
Well, Chris
Right.
Pratt also. Like he was the
Chris Pratt did a lot. Yeah,
he
the
did
Lego
he did the
movie.
Lego movie. Yep.
He just did like a movie, but it was still like kind of him playing him. The
Yeah.
only the
Another
only
one he
the only
did.
movie that I know that he did voice work that I thought was actually really good was Onward.
Onward, yeah.
Onward.
Which was that
Where he
one?
played it was like the elf
The
where he's
Disney
the older
movie?
brother elf, the Disney one about like elves and magic and stuff like that.
It
It's
came out during COVID. It went
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
It went straight to Disney Plus.
No, it came out in theaters. It did come out in theaters. I
Elves
actually
and
saw it in theaters
Magic.
with my son.
Oh, I saw it on Disney Plus when
Yeah.
it released.
Hmm.
Like, because it was like during like the COVID times.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
The
And I
dark
think that's
ages
probably
of
his
COVID.
best voice acting that he did. But I mean, it's an animated film, so even if he doesn't get it right in the right, like if he can't get it right now,
Yeah.
give him another month, he'll get it right.
Yeah.
It's not like
Well, yeah.
trailer was the end all
I'm pretty
be
sure the
all, you
lines
know.
are recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I'm not hating on him or anything like that. Like, I'm saying
I think it was
I'm
fine.
worried.
Yeah.
I don't like that line. It's just like it felt like when he says the Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. It's like, no, like that's not. I mean, it could be biased, right? That I'm used to Charles Martinet with his Mario voice, right? Like that's
Well, so man, people be like, "Oh, he should have done it," but I'm like, "Yo, if I had to watch 2 hours of him talking like that,
like,
I think I would
"Oh,
kill
Mamma
myself,
mia,
dude."
oh.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, no, man.
yeah. Well,
I think it's a more
it's-
realistic approach to
Yeah.
the way like they did it.
yeah.
The one thing I am mad at is like they did give him a flat butt, dude. He ground pounds, dude. He needs that cushion. Man. He needs that cushion. How is he gonna ground pound that? You know,
Maybe that's something that grows over time from him being in the Mushroom Kingdom.
mushroom to gets a big old booty. Like, you know, like,
Oh man.
so we'll see on that. one.
But no, like it does look pretty. Like the animation on it was definitely top
I mean,
notch.
it's-
Like it's
It's the people that did the Minions, you know.
Yeah.
it's DreamWorks, so or
Yeah.
Illumination.
Illumination, yeah. And I know a lot of people were worried about them too, but like to me it looks amazing. Like I'm fine with it. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I can't wait to see the Easter eggs. 'Cause I feel like they'll have more Easter eggs on there to expect. And then of course I have faith in it because Miyamoto's also like overseeing the whole project, so I'm pretty sure that he has something cooked up with them.
So I think I want this to do good because I feel like if this does good, it opens up like a floodgate to possible future other Nintendo animated
Yeah.
IPs.
Yeah, I mean they had Seth Rogen listed on there as Donkey Kong, so
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
sure he probably just makes a cameo. But if it does well, maybe he'll get his own feature film.
But even like further than that, like you could do like Metroid Prime. You know what I mean?
Metroid,
Like,
yeah.
and
Oh,
stuff
that would
like
be a good
you
one.
know what I mean? Like
That'd be a really
'cause
good one to do.
I feel like if this because Metroid Prime, I feel like would be a great animated movie like this.
Yeah.
Like if they did something like that.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
agree.
like action, like kids, like kind of movie. Because you don't even have to make a kids movie. You could probably do a PG-13.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it still sell. Like
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, they did start out, what is it, Nintendo Pictures or Nintendo Productions? They do
Yeah.
have now that label, so I'm pretty sure they're going to go all in that. I mean, honestly, the new CEO of Nintendo is all in about making money in other spots, right? Where before they were just a gaming company. Like, if you notice, I don't know where I went. I think I went to Target or something. I saw, like, just a bunch of Nintendo, like other Nintendo toys, and I was like, man, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
like you can barely find a Mario toy. Like it was really hard to find anything like that. Nowadays, you just go out there and just a floodgates. You got
they're
Lego
everywhere,
Mario,
man.
you got all these Nintendo toys. You got Mario Kart toys, like from nowhere. Like there's a bunch of Nintendo clothing you can buy. So like, I feel like his thing is like, hey, we're gonna make money on all these other things because we have, some of the most popular IPs in the world. So why not make money off of movies as well? I mean, honestly, realistically speaking, Nintendo is really the only other company, in my opinion, I think, that can go toe to toe with Disney when it comes to animation in terms of like their IPs. Because I feel that Mario is up there with Mickey Mouse in terms of a known character, right? Regardless of the age and the generation, like everybody knows Mario.
Your 90-year-old grandma knows Mario.
Exactly, yeah. Like who doesn't know Mario? Kids are growing up knowing Mario because they're buying the Switch as their first console getting into this. So like I feel like they can definitely go toe to toe with them. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited. I'm gonna see it in theaters, 100% for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and all the haters, man. It's always haters, man. Like even on Reddit and everything, it's always just hate, and I'm just like, man, like y'all haven't even seen the movie yet. And then after the movie comes out, when it's good, they're gonna be like, oh, I loved it, and I'm just like, yo, you're the same person that was hating on it. Like what? Like what the hell?
No, I agree with that. Yeah. No, I'm excited for it. Can't wait for that. That's next year. Any of you guys got the date? I forgot to write the date.
I think it's in April or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like April 2023.
Yeah, so it's not that far. Almost half a year from now.
April 7th.
April 7th? Yeah, so not that far from now. We're almost there. We're almost in April. We're in October. So almost there. We're almost in the middle of October at that. Like, oh, man.
And I mean, with that Mario, with the cast that they have, like, I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I was I mean, you guys remember that Super Mario movie back in the 90s with John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
I still love that movie.
Yeah.
Me too. I used to watch it all the time. I watched it a lot.
Yeah, like if Chris Pratt is close to that Mario, is it Bob Hoskins or something like that? The guy that played Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm okay with it.
That's true. If he can do that, yeah. And that's the thing, like, I think he is trying to do, like, they're trying to do more of, like, remember the Super Mario TV series, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Like, I heard that Chris Pratt is trying to do, exactly, he's trying to do, like, more like the New York accent, like that. Which
I think works better.
Yeah, exactly. So if he goes down that route, I can see it, because, like, I was playing the Super Mario cartoons for the kids to watch, and it's still, maybe it's just nostalgia, like, it's still entertaining to me, and I guess if they go that route, that's not a problem either. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see it. I could be I'm a little bit worried about Chris Pratt with that. I just hope he has more enthusiasm, right? Like in any voice acting, I always want just to go in
his
that.
His track record's good. So
yeah,
I think honestly that was just
exactly.
It was a bad line to show. But I think like there's gonna be because Chris Pratt as an actor is super enthusiastic as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you watch Guardians and like stuff like that,
he's like super in the Lego movie, he did a great job there. Even some of his other roles where he's more serious. Like I was watching on Prime. What's that movie he's in? I forget what it's called.
Oh, Terminal List.
Yes, Terminal List. I really enjoy Terminal List. Like I liked it a lot. So like no, I like it, but we'll see how that goes. A couple things that we're going to talk about before we end the podcast because we are running low on time. Persona 3 and Persona 4, they finally got a release date on consoles, which is January 19th, and Persona 3 will actually release on Steam also, or on PC rather, on January 19th as well, since 4 Golden's already there. Are you guys going to pick up all those games?
That's going to be a sale for me.
Sale for you? What about you?
I just got a big backlog, so it's like...
I hear that.
It's a long game, so I'm just like, we'll see.
I've actually never played any of the Persona series.
So really?
It wouldn't be a bad time to jump in and play one since it's now on Steam.
Yeah.
I could just load it on my Steam Deck and
like I said, 4 Golden's on sale right now, so I think 4 Golden's a good entry point. 3's also really good. But like 4, like, and I'm saying 3 is really good where I haven't even played it 3, but like from seeing the story and stuff like that, like it's pretty similar to 4. And then of course 5 is also really good. 5 I have played, the regular 5. I haven't played Royale yet, but I did enjoy 5. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll have all 3 on on PC, and then the mods, because there's 3 versions of Persona 3. Yeah, Persona 3, Persona 3 Fez, and then Persona 3 Portable. The one that we're getting is a Persona 3 Portable.
Okay.
The difference between Fez and Portable is that Portable A was on PSP, where Fez was on PS2. But you get to choose either a male or a female protagonist, and I believe, oh man, I don't remember which one it is. I think Portable is the one that has an extra ending. Fez has the extra ending. They have an extra story bit in Fez. The downside to Fez versus Portable is that Fez, the AI, like your companion characters, they're controlled by AI. So you can only choose the main character's attacks. The AI kind of
Okay.
does random stuff, and like they'll do like the dumbest things. The AI was not great, which made the game, yeah, it made the game really really difficult. The portable version, which was on PSP, they did added the option, or not the option, but they added it so that you can control your characters. The downside is because it is the portable version, there is no more of a hub. It's really just like you're on a map and you choose where you want to go, and it's kind of almost visual novel like, where Fez actually had you running around the school like Persona 4 and Persona 5 does. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna mod it and add in all the Fez content, because you know how the PC gaming community is, which will be pretty cool, because I think that's the ideal way. Like they each have their pros, but they each have their cons, which kind of sucks. So there is no perfect Persona out there yet. So hopefully with these mods, they'll make it the perfect Persona 3. Which I think I feel like it's a missed opportunity for Atlas to not do that, but it's Atlas, right? It took them this long to make the game multi-platform.
Honestly, Atlas too has some of the most expensive retro games. Too.
Yeah.
So it's like they, you know what I mean? It's one of those like they know what they make, so they don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
No, exactly. Yeah. That is true. I mean, they do. Honestly, my favorite published Atlas game is a From Software game, which is 3D Dot Game Heroes. Best PS3 game, or one of the best PS3 games out there. It's a Zelda-like, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
in the last podcast. Yeah, I looked that up.
Yeah, it's an amazing
expensive.
game. It is.
Yeah.
It's expensive. But man, hopefully they port that. That's a game that needs to be ported. Like, it's such an amazing game.
Every game needs to be ported, bro, for preservation.
Exactly.
I hate these companies that don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and the last thing we're gonna talk about, CD Project Red, or it's pronounced Pro. I can't pronounce it the way they do it. It's like Pro. Whatever. It's a European word. It's not actually project. It's like project or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Red announced. They basically announced their roadmap, which is another Witcher game and a sequel.
Well, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the stream then, because
Yeah.
it's CD Project Red. Like,
Yeah.
right, like we'll see. Like.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike has heard my feelings on them. Right. There's a lot of people that put them as up there, like one of the best AAA developers. To me, they're not AAA. They're more like AA, and I wouldn't call them one of the best developers, right? They had a hit with Witcher 3, even though Witcher 2 was good. It was decent, I would say.
Witcher 2 was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't
exactly.
Fun, you know what I mean? Like it was fun for what it was, but it wasn't like
exactly like the combat.
Make it up.
Yeah, the combat. I did not like the combat at all. And then you have Witcher 1, which was a lot worse. Like I was not a fan of the first Witcher at all.
It was good for the time. Like when it first came out, there wasn't really a lot of stuff like that. So like it was good, but other than that, like it wasn't like. Now if you play it, it's very dated. They need to like remaster it or like remake it or something.
Yeah, and I just think, like, to me, like, I don't put them up there. They're not like Square Enix or some of these other AAA developers that we'll be looking at, exactly, like Kojima or anything like that. So now they have their roadmap of all these games. What do you feel like? Are you excited for this, or are you guys like, we'll see what happens?
So the good thing. So first of all, David said he's waiting for the next gen Witcher 3.
Okay.
And we all are. Like, I feel like they should have put that out by now.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years since the consoles have been out, so I don't know why it took them so long. Probably the Cyberpunk failure. But
yeah, probably.
I think now, since they messed up so bad with Cyberpunk, that they're only going to put out quality products. So now I think that the next game that they put out is going to be super good, and they're not going to overpromise and underdeliver. Yeah. Now I think they're going to like set the expectations right and deliver the game that they said they're going to deliver.
Yeah.
Because while Cyberpunk might be good now, and I'm not a hater on Cyberpunk like a lot of people, it still wasn't what they said. Because the story, the gameplay, the customization, all that's cool, but the world is super, super dead. I try to play it again, and I'm like, man, it's not like there's people walking around, but it's not a lively world. Like I'm trying to think of a game that has like a in a live world, like The Witcher 3. You know, actually, The Witcher 3. Let's talk
Yeah.
about The Witcher 3 because it's like that game came out 2016, I think, and
Something
it
like
has
that,
the
yeah.
livelier world than Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So, I think I don't get my hopes up for any games anymore, but I think like the way they're planning it is going to be good because I think the next game that they're going to drop is a Witcher and then the Cyberpunk sequel, and then they have actually another developer working on an open world like Witcher game or something like that.
Yeah, I
If I'm
think they're
not-
going to
if-
try and manage expectations a lot better this time.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to release another game for at least another like 3 or 4 years. So I think they're going to try to fix Cyberpunk as much as they can in these next few years, and then they're going to drop something.
What about
We'll
you,
see, though.
fan? What about you, fan? What do you think?
I mean, I actually haven't played The Witcher 2 or 3. I've only played the first one. But it's on my backlog of all these games
Gotcha.
that I've
Yeah.
been trying to play. But
But there's another
I'm-
YouTube coming too.
okay.
Oh, Mini Nova, what is up?
Yeah, but I mean, I do like the Witcher series in general, like because the Netflix show and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited to see where they take the game.
Yeah.
The Netflix show was super good,
Yeah, it was
you
so
know.
good.
and they did lose money on everything, on like Cyberpunk and all that. So we'll see, like
Yeah.
what they do because they lost a lot of investors.
Yeah.
On that too. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to reel everyone back in.
Yep. Like,
Yeah, with the Netflix show, I think that's going to help out because they already announced a prequel of the Witcher world
yeah.
on Netflix. So maybe the game that they're
With a terrible director.
yeah,
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
we'll see. But maybe the game will have like some ties to that, whether it'll be like a prequel set like thousands of years in the past, how it all started,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so kind of like, you know what Mini Nova Studio says, they lost money on that game, and all the fixes plus people returned the game. Yeah, because there's a lot of, with Cyberpunk, a lot of people got their refund back, right? Sony was offering refunds, Microsoft was, Valve was allowing that. Like everybody was well, not everybody, but a lot of people were requesting a refund because it was not what they promised. I read somewhere, I remember that their NPC count was a lot lower versus the initial gameplay that like a lot of reviewers got to see behind closed doors. That they lowered the NPC count, so like and of course graphics got lowered as well, kind of like Watch Dogs. But yeah, I agree with you too. That I do think that they are going to take that as feedback, right, and make sure they don't make the same mistake twice. Now, if they do make the same mistake twice, then that's another story. Like, they obviously didn't learn.
They're just a bad studio. if
Yeah,
they do it again,
exactly.
Like, that's just what it is.
Exactly. So, I do agree, and I feel though that there's going to be a lot more hype, especially for a new Cyberpunk, because the anime has made a lot of people fans of the Cyberpunk universe. So I know a lot more people are going to be digging into it, because after the anime release, the gameplay count just skyrocketed to beyond their launch numbers. Even me, like, I'm kind of interested in the anime, or not the anime, in the game now, because I love anime, right? Who here doesn't like anime, right? If you don't like anime, you're weird. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, with that, like, yeah, like I'm really interested to kind of play, Cyberpunk, but I wasn't a fan of The Witcher 3. Like, it's okay. I
I liked
know.
it, especially like the thing is the base Witcher game's good, but the DLCs I think are better.
Yeah.
Like the Blood and Wine DLC.
I've
is
heard
better
that,
than the
yeah.
base game. So
To me, like, I
But
don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
there's also a Witcher anime, so it's on Netflix. It's out.
Oh yeah,
It's,
the one that see, and I like the Witcher show. The Witcher show is great. Like I got maybe halfway to the Witcher 3 on Switch, because that was the only way I was gonna play it. And then I bought it again. My brother actually bought it for me for Christmas on PC, and I started up and I got to pretty much where I was on Switch, and I stopped again at the same spot. And it's like, man, like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't know if I'm gonna continue.
you gotta like pull through, because like as soon as the base game gets better, it starts off slow, but it gets better. The story's really good, and then when you get to the DLC, like
Yeah.
what is it, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine,
Yeah.
like it's super good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. So, fun fact, the only DLCs I've really played in a game were the the Mass Effect DLCs, and that's because they were pretty much story related, right? Like there was a lot of story content in it.
Yep.
I guess like Witcher 3 because it was the end of a trilogy, right? Like it was kind of those things like I it's not pushing me to play that, but like I love like the Leviathan DLC for what was that, Mass Effect 3, I believe. Mass Effect 3 had like amazing DLC. And that's the only thing, like I'll play DLC if it's story related. But like I don't, and then it's a bad comparison because I love Mass Effect, so it's a little bit of bias there. But like, I don't know if like Witcher will grab me like that. I don't know. I'll give it another try. That's the only thing I can say. Like
I think it's one of those games like you have to get past the first area, and then you got to get past like the second kind of like area they put you in, and then once you get to like Skellig, like which is like the island area, like that's it starts going up from there.
Yeah, I got to the part where I already met Trish. And then there's like that whole little scenario you're going through. Actually, I already beat that part. And then there was I'm trying to remember what I was doing.
You just gotta. It's one of those things you gotta like push through because it is super slow at first.
Yeah.
And then also if you like that like medieval environment, it's really good. Like the Red Baron quest line.
Yeah.
Once you get, I don't know if you got to like if you finish the Red Baron quest line, is like super good. It's
that's
like
the one with the kid, right? With the king and the kid turns into the. Okay, yeah, I did finish that. Yeah, that one hit me hard because I got kids and I was like, oh man, like that's
super good quest lines.
Yeah, that one hit me hard. I remember that one. But yeah, so we'll see what they have going on because not only that, like I feel like especially in this day and age and where developers starting to go back, I feel like there's a lot more competition coming more and more. Where the PS4 generation there was competition, but it wasn't. I don't feel like it's. I don't know. To me, it feels like everything is being more crowded now. Like everybody's trying to make these high-end AAA single-player games more now than they were before. I don't know. Do you guys feel that same way?
Yeah, I mean, because that's what makes money. Like honestly, like now. When I was growing up, it wasn't cool to be a nerd. You know what I mean? Like now it's a cool thing, but like now it's more AAA things. You know what I mean? Like because everyone just plays, what the next Assassin's Creed, the Call of Duties, and stuff like that, and they consider themselves a nerd, which is completely false. You know what I mean? Like get out of here with that.
Yeah. You got to be like me. Yeah. When I was growing up, I would get thrown to the floor because I loved playing Street Fighter. Right? Nowadays, you play Street Fighter, you're a hardcore. Amazing. Like, you got parties being thrown for you and stuff like that. Like,
Or the good old days at the arcade when you
exactly
line up some quarters.
Yep.
Get your turn.
Exactly.
But, I think moving forward, the way AAA titles are probably going to go, well, I think they're still going to be somewhat open world, but I think they're going to try and focus more on story and character development and stuff like that because. The reason why we play games is because it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
It's entertainment. But if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, then it's going to get boring.
Well, everything's going to be based on multiplayer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's where live service is taking over. And I think most AAA, like, I guess Overwatch 2 AAA? Like, technically,
it's Blizzard,
like,
It's considered AAA.
So it's like free to play live, pretty much a live service kind of game. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like,
but
Apex Legends, and it's all the biggest game. Like if you go on Twitch right now, the most watched games are the big AAA like multiplayer games.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I like a game with story.
Me too. Yeah,
Same.
Like we're in that camp, but we're like the older generation, right? That like we love stories.
We saw this all evolve. A lot of people forget. Like we saw gaming evolve from what is it, like a 16-bit to like now, like whatever graphics that we
from
have.
The NES to the Switch. I was there along the ride the whole way. So.
And and that's the thing, like we saw it when there was no story. It was just here you are, you're Mario, and it's beat every level, and then next thing you know, you get games like Final Fantasy and like Chrono Trigger and things like that they start giving these deep stories, and then you get to the PlayStation era where story games like blew up.
Even like I just beat Final Fantasy 1 and the story's so generic. But like I'm like you got to put yourself back in the shoes like 30 years ago where like people were playing this and it's like it's for a 30-year-old game it's like good. Like I'm like it was unique at the time, but now it's kind of like a generic kind of like thing. So
Yeah. No, you know what's a fun game, and I highly recommend you guys to play. It's a really short game, Dragon Quest One. So Dragon
yeah.
Quest came out before Final Fantasy, right? And literally, like you play it, and it does show its age. But to me, it was fun. It was like I played it, experienced it, and I actually really enjoyed it because it is very so you're one
Well,
character, but it's turn based, which is funny. So like instead of typically a game like that will be like Zelda where you can hack and slash or stuff like that. But this was way before any of those games. You're one character. There's no party members, and it's turn based, and it's just you attacking, and then they attack back and forth. And of course,
so
it's
you
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like so Final Fantasy is actually based off Dragon Quest. The person
Correct.
who originally made Final Fantasy, but he also based Final Fantasy off Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So that's when you get like the elements and stuff like that because the Dragon Quest didn't have elements at the time.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that's what like kind of like pushed like Final Fantasy over Dragon Quest. Like
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Well, it's funny. Dragon Quest was also based off was it Ultima? The old it was I believe a Mac game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So like that's where a lot of
yeah.
the style of the gameplay was designed. Like he had a lot of that stuff. But like if you could play Dragon Quest One, it's available on mobile and on Switch. I played it on mobile just because it was easier. Short game, you could beat it probably like in 2 or 3 hours, but it's a fun nostalgic kick and like I like it. Like I actually playing it and then going back to that time, I was like, man, like it just feels like you're playing history because it's just so different from modern games nowadays. Especially when you look at this, like, okay, this is where JRPGs like transform or RPGs in general transform from, because you went from this single character, right? And then Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest 2 comes out, and then you're controlling 3 characters, and then you got Dragon Quest 3 where you got a party of 4 and stuff like that. So like it's weird how it evolves. Final Fantasy, what's it called? 1 I believe came out after Dragon Quest 3. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it came out after that because I know Dragon Quest 3 was the first one to introduce being able to change out classes and things like that, and then Final Fantasy 1 came out, and they had the same thing. Yeah, multiple classes and stuff like that. But yeah, highly recommend it. It's a fun game to play. It's like I think $2 in mobile, and I think the Switch version's like $7.
Whoa! That's way too much.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah. But it's a quick game. I played it when I had the Dragon Quest kick when my youngest son was born. That's when I played through that. But yeah, I recommend it. If you're watching this podcast, definitely take a look. But that is all the time we have for today's podcast. I do want to thank everybody for joining us today. I do apologize for not being around for a couple weeks. I know me and Mike, we've had just difficulties, and same thing with Fan. Like hurricane went through and hit us. I was without power for a few days. Did you lose power, Fan? I never asked you that.
Not like completely. It like kind of went in and out.
Man, you guys
They're yeah. I mean, at most I maybe lost like an hour.
You guys are lucky. Oh, who's streaming next, David? We're gonna do a group stream on Tuesday. We're gonna do the Forest, I believe. Are we gonna finish Halo Reach? Because I feel like we'll figure out. It'll be either or. We'll
toss a coin. We'll toss a coin.
Yeah, we'll toss a coin to your Witcher, and we'll figure out what
Yeah.
what happens. But we're gonna do a group stream on Tuesday, and then I'll have my solo stream with Resident Evil 2 on Wednesday. Thursday, Mike, what are you gonna be streaming Thursday?
I don't know, man. I don't know whether I should keep playing God of War or if I should play a spooky game.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
still deciding.
you're almost there. I
So-
mean, just a few more, crashes, and you'll be done with the game.
Almost, yeah. So at least like 10 or 11.
Exactly. Yeah, you're almost there. And then Friday, so unfortunately we don't have a third person for our channel. So Friday we're gonna be what do you call it? We're gonna be rotating. So me and Mike will be rotating. Are you doing this one this Friday, Mike?
Yeah. For now, although if something comes up, I could probably do it. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
I'll let you know.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. But somebody will be streaming Friday, whereas me or Mike. What happened to the other guy? Unfortunately, his life was just too busy. So he just couldn't put the time in with the channel. So who knows?
And Mother Nature sucks sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, mother.
Trust us, bro. We just went through Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, that's why he's not there. So, there is a little bit of change of how we do the random encounter. Me and Mike are now the random encounter, and then Fan is a partner with the random encounter. So he is part of the podcast team, and he will stream with us every now and then as well. And we'll have rotating people come through. We'll have a fourth guest come through, maybe a fifth guest, maybe 100 guests. No, I'm just kidding, not 100, but we'll have
You're right,
plenty of guests.
150.
Yeah, 150 guests. Yeah, we'll just have
However many
everybody.
Discord can handle.
Exactly. We'll try to break Discord and my internet to see what
Yeah.
what could go on there. But we're definitely back in gear. I think 100% from here on out. At least I am for sure. Hopefully nothing bad happens,
Yeah.
right? So
Now this week's gonna be grind. We're pumping out content now.
yeah, definitely. We'll get back to the solo videos. I do plan to have at least 2 solo videos up by Thursday, or I'll say by Friday for sure. So we can get this going through, because we on top of the streams we'll have those solo videos. I know I have something prepared. Mike has given me stuff already that's prepared, so we do have an October game list that's going to be coming out, and a couple of other stuff
Are
coming
you
out
guys
for
gonna be
sure.
doing a game list as in like a tier list, or
Yeah,
Release list.
yeah, releases
okay,
like
okay,
top
okay.
games to
Okay.
look for in October and stuff like that.
got it?
So Mike will be doing that every month. You'll get his hot picks of the month. Where me, I'll just be doing something. I have something out there.
I'm also gonna do like where I play older games and I do like an impression on like if they hold up and everything
Yeah.
like that. So I'm
Or
gonna
like
get,
a retro
series
rewind?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have his Final Fantasy 1 thing. I'm gonna have something similar to like that. Like I've been thinking about it, but I have some other impressions reviews. I'm gonna have hardware reviews going through. Like I said, the 8-bit do controller. I do want to review that when I get my hands on that. I will probably have a review of this one as well, because I've had it for so long, and I know it's gonna be late because there's a lot of other impressions on there. But just so you can hear my take on it, for everything I use it for. But yeah, so please be excited for all that stuff we have coming out. We will be getting through. My busy season at my full-time job is kind of slowed down now, so I won't be as busy there. So I can kind of like, put more focus on the channel for sure. And then starting January, we're hoping to get even better and have a lot more stuff going on there too. We also got our affiliate links as well, so I'll be having those in the channel. So anytime you do see our videos, if it does interest you in buying the game or the product that we're showing, click on that affiliate link and buy it through there. That does support the channel. That gives us some of that money so that we can go ahead and again buy more games to review, buy more equipment to reviews, and just buy games to stream and all that other good stuff. But yeah, thank everybody for joining us. Really appreciate you. Don't forget, share the video. Share it to a friend, family member, anybody who's into video games. We will be constant.
Everybody.
Yeah, send it to everybody. Post it on your your social media.
Man.
We are trying to
We're
hit those
awesome. Tell
goals.
everyone we're awesome. Yeah, like.
We are trying to hit those goals for sure. So we really appreciate that if you can just share it to everybody, so we can get those subscription numbers up and those follows up on Twitch. Fan, where can they find you at?
So I'm on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter, all FanXY. So it's just PHAN, ECKSWHY.
Yeah.
I'll post that in the chat so then people can see it if they need to.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Next stream I need to put up where I can have our names labeled, kind of like what I did in the last not live stream but the other stream. But I do have to put that on there. So hopefully I'll have that ready by Tuesday's stream. So at least they can have your Twitter or your Twitch and your Twitter and all that stuff right on there, so they can follow you. But yeah, my name is James. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mike. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Random Encounter, or Tuesday on the stream.
Yeah. Peace, guys. Peace, Nova. Peace, David. Thanks for commenting, hanging around.
Yeah.